Hit twice by flooding in 2 years, an Austin woman says she's nearly at her wit's end.
On the second anniversary of the Halloween floods, the homeowner in Onion Creek is suing the city of Austin. KXAN investigator Robert Maxwell spoke with her this afternoon as she cleans up from last weekend's flood.
The roar of half a dozen fans drying out Jacqueline Perez's home take over as she walks us through where 14 inches of floodwater rushed in last weekend.
Lots of water, lots of mud, lots of poisons in the water.
Exactly 2 years ago, she says it was much worse. October 31st, 2013, Perez fled her house only to have the rushing water pick up her car, she says, forcing her to cling to a fence until rescuers arrived.
We didn't have a warning. There was neighbors calling since 2 a.m. saying that the creek was starting to swell. I even called 911 after we were already stranded out there in Pleasant Valley, and they said, "We have no rescue for you all."
Perez says she should have been better warned the neighborhood was going underwater. The lawsuit was filed last Friday, just before the 2-year statute of limitations on such claims expired. It contends before and during the 2013 flood, the city failed to follow proper emergency notification and response procedures for flooding. Perez bought her home in 2012, well aware it sits on a floodplain. But since the city already started buying out nearby properties from a 1999 flood, Perez says she should have been told. The suit contends the city failed to warn Perez about the history of flooding in the neighborhood.
They were aware because it was already going through a buyout process. I was not informed that this was under a buyout process because this particular section had not reached that yet.
Now, the city of Austin responded today to our request for comment to get their side. A spokesperson confirms this is the first legal action of its kind and writes in an email today the city is aware of the lawsuit and will defend Austin's emergency response to the record floods in 2013. And Robert and Shannon, they add the city is committed to the safety and security of all Austin residents tonight.
All right, Robert, thank you very much. And city officials say they have been trying to fix a lot of the problems tied to their response to the 2013 Halloween floods. A city report found several failures. For example, some of the flood gauges washed away during the storm, which delayed getting warnings out to homeowners. But the city has worked with the U.S. Geological Survey to fix those gauges. The 86-page report also found water rescues fell short. There were not enough boats near the Onion Creek area, so the city gave the Austin Fire Department money to buy 10 new boats. The report also found there were major communication lapses with the warning system, evacuation notices, and language barriers. For example, one warning went out in English and not in Spanish. There were also a number of people in danger who had to wait several minutes before they could even talk to a 911 dispatcher. Since then, the city has hired 21 more people at Austin's 911 call center.